good afternoon. You're watching NewsX and I'm Asavri Jindal. We have some breaking news coming in. Hong Kong's fire department has said that the number of people who were killed in Hong Kong's devastating apartment building fire has risen to at least 55. Meanwhile, at least 123 people were injured in the blaze, including 8 firefighters. Officials are saying that among the 51 dead who died at the scene, and in fact, we're also understanding that 4 in fact passed away at the hospital. Meanwhile, rescuers are still searching for many residents that are still missing. That's the update that we are tracking right now from Hong Kong. My colleague Arzu Seth with us on the broadcast to give us an update. Arzu, the death toll has now risen to 55. We're understanding that 123 people are injured at the moment. What's the update?
Well, yes, Asavri, at least 55 people have been killed in a major fire engulfing public housing apartment in Hong Kong, and more than 270 people are still not accounted for, are being searched. And also officials have in the morning said that the fire was under control in 4 out of 7 affected buildings, and they hope to quell the remaining blazes by the evening. As the fire subsides, questions are now mounting as how the blaze initially started and who should be held accountable. As of now, action has been already taken. 3 construction company executives have been arrested on the suspension of manslaughter connected to flammable material, including the mesh and plastic sheet that may have allowed the fire to spread quickly. So definitely there is a team that has been constructed to investigate the cause of the fire, and was it intentional done? What was the reason behind this fire? The fire was precisely classified level 5 blaze, the most serious level in the Hong Kong. So definitely now the death toll have risen to 55, and there are also 270 people who are still missing, and the search operation is still going on. Yes, Asabi.
Right, absolutely. Arzu, thank you for joining us on the broadcast, sharing all those updates with us. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the visuals from the fire site in detail. Let's try to examine through the visuals the information that we can understand at this point in time. Like I said earlier, this incident has taken place at the Wang Fuk Court in Hong Kong. As you can see over here, these multi-story buildings completely set ablaze, fire ripping through the Hong Kong estate. We can see, of course, through these visuals that as many as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buildings have been affected in the aftermath of this fire. In fact, the understanding that we have with us at this point in time is that over 800 firefighters were deployed at the spot, given the kind of an incident that they were looking at, multi-story buildings, and not just that, multiple of those skyscrapers being affected in the fire tragedy that's taken place in Hong Kong. As you can see, another visual that we are tracking, firefighters there on the spot trying to douse the fire. And in this visual, what we can see is a lot of the fire has been doused, but of course the smoke billowing up in the sky. We can of course see the bamboo right over here, considering the fact that this was a building that was under construction. Here's another visual that we are tracking, and I was talking about the bamboo scaffoldings with which these buildings were covered. Here's a close-up of that visual where, of course, fire tenders are there on the ground. They're trying to douse the situation. But like we can see, in fact, the material that has been used in the process of construction, these bamboo sticks that have been used in order to keep the building in the proper shape as the construction was going on. This, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the reasons that is currently being looked at as one of the prime reasons why this fire engulfed into what it did. The bamboo, of course, being a material that is extremely flammable, and of course the authorities now looking at this as one of the critical reasons as to why the fire multiplied. The fire was, of course, there, and many multi-story buildings were affected. We can of course understand the kind of an impact that this must have had on the family members of those inside. We're of course understanding at this point in time that there are 55 people who have lost their lives, 123 people injured, and over 300 people who are currently unaccounted for. So again, here's another visual, and like I had said earlier, under construction, this side of course showing towards your left, ladies and gentlemen, the visual showing that there was of course an under construction building right over there. Another visual that we're tracking, and this of course of the aftermath. Nearby buildings covered in smoke in the aftermath of what's happened. And last visual that we're tracking from a distance where the fire took place. Like I was telling you earlier, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buildings that can be seen over here that have been impacted. Firefighters there, of course, across these buildings, all across these buildings that are there in the circle, trying to douse the fire. There are as many as 800 of these firefighters who were deployed, and as of now 900 residents have been relocated. We try to understand through the visuals the kind of a situation that's there currently in Hong Kong. 55 dead, nearly 300 people have gone missing. There are 3 people who've been arrested so far, and one of the main reasons that is being looked at right now for the fire multiplying and causing such big devastation are those bamboo scaffoldings that were placed at this under construction building.